And we are live. Now the question is, does anybody listens to this? So I think I'm just gonna start, right? Um, yeah, I think we're talking about freedom, the frequency of freedom, and the frequency of freedom. It's about letting go. It's about being free in who you are. It's about not having an idea of who you are. And the more you have that idea that you think that you're supposed to be someone, it already puts you in a framework, in this framework that you feel like this is you, and then you have to become that you, right? For me, that's not how I work. For me is I put an intention of where I want to be, and then out of that intention, I move forward. And I am in the present now, so I can move forward to a better place that I want to be. And the more I do so, the easier it becomes to just be me, because I'm not faking being me, I'm just being me. There's many ways to do so, so I'm not saying all the other ways are wrong or whatever. No, my way, my way is being that version now, is being the best version now. So without shame, without thought, because eventually I will go and make mistakes, a lot of mistakes. And those mistakes will eventually teach me how to make less of it. So as a child, I at one point fell a lot of times, and then I know how to stand up. I was a skater at one point, so that means I did something to reach a certain goal, to reach a certain grind, to reach a certain height. And I went through my fears to get to those points. And the better I was at it, the easier it was for me to fall, because I knew how to fall. And therefore, I knew how to stand back up because I reduced the damage. By reducing the damage, it made me become less afraid of becoming a version of me. And by doing so, I could repeat it more and more and more. And then eventually I became, or I reached the point where I wanted to be. So now again, in this dream, in this person, for me, everything is about cultivation of this person. If I want to evolve, that means I have to step into a place where I have to push myself out of a boundary so I can reach higher understanding, higher skills, because I am testing myself to do all of that. If I don't test myself in life, I will reach nothing. I will be in bed sleeping the whole day because I have no goal. That's where I was at one point. Without a goal, there's nothing to reach. So you need a dream, you need a focus. A man or a woman, they need focus, they need a dream to work to something. If you don't have that something, you cannot reach it. If you put your dream over here, you might reach it over here. If you put it over here, you will do your best to get over there. And you can either take small steps, or people, they want to raise all over here, and then eventually they get there, but they might fall more. They might fall 20 times, 30 times, 40 times, but eventually they know how to fall, and then they can reach that place even quicker. Those who do small steps, they take a small journey, but still you can reach it. You don't need to go as fast, but it's the risk that other people are taking to get to that point, right? So if I want to reach heaven, if I want to reach self love, if I want to reach the point inside of myself where I'm happy, where I'm good, that means I have to take big steps or small steps towards that point as well. I have to find ways. How do I communicate with myself? How do I create a version of me that is in peace with myself, that is happy with himself? And by doing so, eventually you will reach inner peace within yourself. You will reach more love within yourself. Then eventually, there's no need for externalization. There's no need to ask people to love you, because you already have that love within yourself. And that's the shift that you can make from external to internal. And the more you do internal, the easier it becomes. because then internal will always be more beauty outwardly, and you will create outwardly and not externally. You don't get validations, you don't get input from the outside to change, to become a version of you that you might not even want to become. So if you do internal outside, that means that from the inside, I feel okay. So what do I want? What is my dream? What is my focus? And from that point, I'll use the universe. I use the people, not per se use, but they are at service for you. They can help you, guide you, become the best version of you at the same time. So the more you do so, the easier it becomes. And that's what life can do. Life can bring you in very beautiful places, but also in very negative places. And the choice is for you to take accountability and ways to get to that point. So if you really decide, I want to shift my life into a better place, then you're the one in control, fully in control. And then you can choose the people around you. For example, with me, I had depression, I had psychologists and psychiatrists and all of that around me. But the people tried to steer me in what they want and what they think was good for me. But I chose eventually, no, I don't want that. I want you to work with me. I want you to listen to me, because this is the only way for me to take control back over my life. If I allow the psychologist, the psychiatrist, and all of that to steer me into a place where they want me to be, I would still be in a place that they want me to be. But when I took control back, I would say no to that, no to that. I would choose my own psychiatrist. I would choose my own medicine. I would choose my own psychologist. And at one point, it all shifted. It shifted from being guided, being led, to taking control over life and then moving that life into a place that I want it to be, not how they want it to be. So I'm not saying that's bad or that's good. I'm saying from that point of view, for me, when I took lead in my own life, when I gave boundaries to the people who wanted something from me or who thought it was good for me, I was always connected to my own intuition, always connected to my own health, because I didn't want to have things inside my body that was not good for my health, that did not make me feel more human. So if I daze myself with medicine, how is it then me being a human being any worth? Like if I can't even feel myself, why do I live? There's no reason for me to live then, right? So that's my choice at one point, is to feel alive. And to feel alive means I have to feel my emotions. And how do I regulate my emotions eventually? So I learned, how do I regulate my emotions? How can I just be sad? How can I just be happy? How can I just be angry? And by doing so, I allow me as a human being just to be, instead of stopping myself from being all of that. And this is where, for me, it's the most important thing, is to become a version of you, become a version of you that you truly want, and to lead a life that you truly want. And that's the only way for you to get to the point where you truly want to be, is to choose the life to live, to create a dream that fits your reality, that fits your life, and then you become all of that. You just become the version of you that can realize this dream. And that dream is where you want to be, where you want to be, where you want to be, and where you want to be. Because you choose to be that. What level you might be in, it doesn't matter. But when you take responsibility and accountability and choose for life to itself, because it's choosing life, it's not choosing death, it's not choosing anything else, it's choosing who you are and choosing where you want to be now. And by doing so, you can be in the now, you can be present. But if you are in disconnection with who you want to be now, or who you were, or who you are in the future, that means you're always either here in the past or in the future, but never in the present now. So once you accept the now as it is, the past as it is, then you can start changing. Otherwise, you're stuck in this loop constantly, from, oh no, what happened here, what happened there, and you can't resolve those issues if you're not here. So you have to be here in order to see all of that. You need to zoom out and see, okay, I have my issues, I have the problems, and then I have my lessons. In those lessons, I become a better version of myself so I can be more in the now. And by being more in the now, you can change everything here. And then this will be in more peace with each other. because eventually when you learn the lessons, there's nothing for you to go back into. Whether you have a breakup, whether you have a breakup with yourself, whether you're lost, eventually you will have to find yourself. And you have to create a version of you that you're happy with. And once you're happy with that version of you, you can grow even better, even higher, because now you know how to create version of you from love, out of love, not from despair, from survival. Because survival is where we are right now. Not all of us, of course, but there's a survival system instead of a abundant, and it's holding us in a frequency where we are no longer free. We are in the slave system. We are in the slave mindset. And by being in the slave mindset, we cannot outgrow that unless we break free. And how do we break free? We have to take authority back over ourselves. We have to take authority back over everything that we are. And the more we do so, the more free we will be. And that's the only way for us to get out of the mindset that they have programmed into us, is slave mindset. So you have to reprogram that into a free mindset. So you have to let go of things that you are no longer connected to, or that you are no longer feel that you want to be anymore. So you really have to take a look. Who am I? What do I want to become? And how can I be more free in all of that? So now I'm going to change up the music a little bit so that we're not in this vibe the whole time, my dear. Back live. Okay, people. I've talked a lot about a lot of things right now, right? So let's go back into the flow state. So, flow state to itself is a natural state of being. And that natural state of being is simple. Simplicity is the natural state of being. So that means I program myself in a simple way. I have to act on simple things. So I allow my mind to be free. Once I allow my mind to be free, I allow this heart to express itself. The mind is, again, a place where all your wisdom, all your information is stored. Once you understand that all of this is only stored information, that means you have to become the information that you are. And that means the answer that you have been given to by someone else, you have to become. And once you are all of that, once you are the answer to all of that, that means you are now the flow. And that flow to itself is your natural state of being. So that also means your name is very important because your name has power. Once you say your name, how does it feel like for you? For me, it's Sarai. So there's I call this. There's more power in it, and this is how I also connect with, for example, when I say God. So God, when I say God, there's a tone to it. My relationship with God. It's also the same way I have with my children, with my partner, with anyone else. So if you say your name, how does that feel like? Does it feel important to you? Do you have love for it? Do you don't have love for it? And then you understand, can I build a better relationship with myself? By creating a better relationship with myself, it's easier to have that flow state. Because if you have this fight within yourself constantly, there's always a fight between the ego and the spirit. And the ego and the spirit, they should be friends at one point, because if they're friends, that means they can live in harmony. And maybe my interpretation of ego might be different than yours. So let's say my ego, my perception of my ego, is this earthly body, is this earthly vessel, and the spirit is connected to this body. So I am the one riding the dragon, for example. So I'm moving everything according to the soul wishes, and this body is just moving with it. And this is what I call the body, mind, and soul alignment. And in that way, yeah, let me stop it for a while. I'm gonna pause it. I'll come back in like half an hour, 15 minutes. So if you like it, subscribe, join me, and you can support me in other ways as well. So thank you very much for watching. For now, and leaving a like and follow me and subscribing to me helps me a lot with my journey into what I would love to realize to myself. So yeah, thank you. It's a very